Hey, everybody, it's Tim.
And Joy.
We are here for episode 10 already.
I can't believe it.
Live and found. We're staring right down at episode 10. And you know what, Joy? We're also staring right down at 2026. I know it's not October yet, but it is. We're looking right at 2026.
And this is where small business owners start to stress out or panic a little bit because now we're talking about budgets for next year and staffing for next year. And we really start to plan what 2026 is going to look like.
So today we're gonna talk about the 5 boss moves you need to make in 2025 to set up your 2026. So put away your party plans for a second, put away that Halloween candy, and let's get you more started for 2026. Because if you don't care about AI visibility, your competition is. And let's get you some boss moves to get your 2026 started correctly.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is your content audit. And we spend a lot of time talking about your content and how it should be structured. But an article came out, I don't know, in the last couple of weeks about how people are using ChatGPT. And I think it was, and correct me if I'm wrong, 40% of people are using ChatGPT to search things for personal use.
Right.
So they're looking for things to help them. So doing an audit, a content audit is really important, knowing what people are using ChatGPT for.
And where you need to do your content audit, you have to look at some specific pages. Of course, your home page should be the first place you look for, do your content audit. Then your about page, your service page, your FAQ page. Make sure you've started one and have some FAQs on there. And one area that I think we want to recommend really highly is if you have a blog that has been looked at a lot or that you tell people to go to, that should be one that you need to do a content audit. So let's talk a little bit about what is a content audit.
Well, let's hone in on why some of the pages are so important first. Before we move forward.
Sure, I get that. Well, your homepage, that's the page that everybody's going to go to first. And you want to make sure you have your clear content on there. You want to make sure you have the who, what, why, when, and where. You know, who you are, what you do, where you're at, things like that. Why that is very important because that's what AI is going to scroll through and crawl through first to get you as who you are, figure out who you are. Your about page, it's very important too. And your services page are very important as well because that's going to tell AI who you are in more detail and what you do and why you do it. And that's vital to become that authority that AI is looking for. And speaking of authorities, is your FAQ page. There's your hidden gem. The FAQ page is the strongest signal that AI is going to look at and read through. So it loves those questions and answer format. And that's how people search. And like Joy was just saying, that's the kind of language that they're going to look for when they do a search. So you want to mirror as closely to what people will type into ChatGPT to look in your FAQ page.
All right, hold on right there. So I want to talk about that for a minute because one of the things that we're doing with our website is organizing our FAQ page. So for instance, and if you guys want to look at our website to see what I mean, feel free, your AIwizards.com. But we've done FAQs on what is AI search. And I think we have 4 pages talking about AI search. But one of the things that we do is talk about the bias in the data. And I have separate pages of FAQs just for bias in the data. So I think as time goes on, FAQs are so important because of the natural language component for AI, but it's also going to matter how you organize them. So keep that in mind because that's where we're heading. The more, instead of just doing a general FAQ page, if you have a topical FAQ page, that's going to make it easier for AI to crawl your site. And in addition to that, we're also doing FAQs for the blogs that we write. So that's another area we're expanding FAQs. Okay, go ahead. Next one is blogs.
Well, and we want to make sure your blogs are important too, because that's where you show your authority. And that's what AI is looking for, is making sure you are the authority. Blogs do that in such great detail. And you want to take your one or two best blogs and make sure they're heavily ready for AI. What we're talking about is make sure the headline is clear, make sure they're keyword rich, things that you know people want to know with your when you write your when you put it on your page. You want to make sure that your contact info, like on your homepage, is easily found and easily available. So, the days of saying welcome are over. You need to be very specific, Colorado Springs, AI experts. You want to say, we are located at 410 Tijuana Street. You want to make sure that your links are working. So if you have a button that says click for a quote, click for a consult, that button's going somewhere and all your links are working. And make sure that you have all of your outdated stats and links and staff bios. And I know some of you still have staff bios from 2022 on your website. You need to get rid of those old staff bios because AI is looking for new, fresh, and accurate information.
All right. So we've drilled down on content. The next up is, and we've talked about this in the last couple of lives, is your alt text. So let's talk about that.
Remember, alt text is how AI views your picture. And that's what's important, that you have very good alt text. You'd be surprised how many people, for example, if you were going to pick one image to do alt text on, it's your logo. The logo is so important to AI. And it shows, again, it's that authority building, understanding what you do, where you go. Do an alt text on your logo. It's going to show AI what you are, who you are, and it's so vital. And then whatever your number one image is, if you feel the best image on your webpage is you and your staff, then you need to don't say the staff on your alt text. Say something like the staff of Johnson Heating and Plumbing, noted here. You're experts in the heating and air conditioning field here in Colorado Springs. AI loves that because it explains exactly what the picture is.
So if you want more details on that, go back to our YouTube channel because we did a whole live and found on alt text. But that's something you need to do for 2026, before 2026. All right, number 3, claim your Apple Maps listing. Now, this is interesting.
Apple Maps is a huge AI beacon because more than half of the people use an Apple product, an iPad or an iPhone. And if you're not in Apple Maps, you're not being crawlable by AI. So if you're a business and you haven't set up your Apple Map yet, and we're in the process of it. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. It can be a little frustrating. And if you have access to an iPad or an iPhone, you want to use that over your Android or your Windows PC. If you don't, borrow and steal somebody's iPhone for just a few minutes. Once you get it going, it doesn't take too long. It's just a long process. And Apple's very good about screening through the process. So we're not on Apple Maps yet. I'm not going to lie to you, but we're in the process because Apple's being very careful. But once we get on Apple Maps, it's going to be a huge boost because it's going to bring you that local relevance that AI loves so much. So,
Well, and it's funny because we're learning as we're doing this. I mean, Tim was not a happy camper yesterday.
it was frustrating as heck. But Apple's being very, they're being very careful, and the best part is they're also being very helpful through the process. So it's frustrating, but once you get into going, it's not a 10-minute fix. So give yourself like a half hour to do it, but it's well worth the time. It's well worth a lunch break to get your Apple Maps going.
Well, and one of the things we haven't talked about yet, and we're going to talk about, is voice search and the dominance of voice search and how to position your business for voice search. So when we talk about AI search, voice is a huge component of that, and this is part of it.
And we know somebody who says he hates AI, but he uses his voice search every single day.
And we're not going to name names.
No, we're not going to name names. But he says he hates AI, but he uses his voice search every day. So I think he's really a closeted AI lover.
Okay, number 4, publish an end of year authority post.
We've been talking a lot about authority and AI looking for an authority. This is the number one beacon again for AI to look at your website is that end of year authority post. It's you don't have to be a writer. What you have to be though is sum up your business in around 750 words, 500, 800 words, and you can concentrate on maybe one of 3 things. Answer the biggest customer question that you've had this year so far, or highlight something in the industry that I may not be aware of, your consumers may not be aware of, that is going to affect them in 2026, or things you've learned in 2025 and what's coming up in 2026. Joy is huge. We'd love this Live and Found because we're going to use this probably Live and Found as one of our authority beacons because you can use it. You can just talk about it for a few minutes and then have AI bring that into a blog for you. So a video would work great.
A lot of people don't feel comfortable stepping into their authority. And that's one of the things we want to encourage. And I suffer from this because I'm not an AI expert. And when anybody says they're an AI expert, that is like the biggest red flag. I'm an AI enthusiast, but there are no experts because AI changes so quickly. So it's been hard to kind of step in to the AI authority box. But what I do is share what I learn. I share what we learn. We share what we read, what we're finding, what our analytics say. So don't be afraid to step in to your authority. Don't let that scare you because it's your field, it's your industry, and all industries are changing because of AI. I don't know any industry that isn't being affected by it from one range to another, some more than others, but owning your space or your niche is really important for AI because somebody's going to do it. And if you don't do it, you're just hurting your business.
Right. You are the expert. And everybody goes, well, it's just my job. It's just what I like to do. Well, that's why you're the expert. You see it every day. So like Joy says, I love that. Step into your authority. Don't be afraid of it. And now is the best time to do it because it gets you jump started into 2026. And that's the whole point. We want to get you jump started into 2026 with building the confidence of being an authority. And the authority blog blog post is going to be a huge part of that. So don't be afraid of it. Embrace it, use it, And there's multiple ways that you can show that you're an authority through that blog.
Okay, now the hard one.
The
Schema
heavy
markup.
lift, the heavy lift of the week of this group, and we're going to talk about it again. It's schema. You got to remember what the important thing about schema, and the thing that we've been talking about for the last few weeks. Schema is the language AI understands the best. Even though we speak in English, AI speaks in schema. I know that's kind of an easy breakdown of it, but that's probably the best way to describe it. So we need to make sure, you need to make sure, we're working on it, that you have your schema going, your local business schema, your FAQ schema, and you just need to look at every page, and AI can help you. ChatGPT you can say, here's my home page. What schema do I need to put on this page? And AI will help you say, here's what you need. And there's a couple of tools that I use. I use schema.org when I put our schema in to make sure that I have all the boxes checked. And if I get stuck on my schema, there's this thing called Merkle's Fund Generator. Read our blog tomorrow, and we'll have links to them. That helps you generate the schema for your website. So don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. If you don't have control of your website, by mean control that you don't work on it, have your web developer do the schema. It'll probably take him or her 20 minutes to do it. What might take you, if you're doing it by yourself, in an hour, it might take them 20 minutes to do it because they've done it before. And I'm going to be honest, if they haven't done it before, you need a new web developer.
All right. Wrap up. So the top things that we need to do is audit your top 5 pages: homepage, about page, service page, FAQ page, and your top blog.
Add your alt text to your most shared images.
Claim your Apple Maps listing.
Publish an authority post and add some schema markup.
All right. So that should take you in strong to 2026. Now, a lot of these things you can do yourself. It's some time, some commitment, but it's so important to be found. So really take some time in the fourth quarter to implement some of these changes. It's a process. Trust me, we're doing it. We're doing it too. So just keep that in mind. But you really want to position your business in 2026 to be found by AI.
So if you get stuck, just contact us here at Your AI Wizards. I'm Tim at Your AI Wizards.
Joy at youraiwizards.com.
And we will help you through it to get you to where you need to be and give you some advice. And of course, follow us on LinkedIn, follow us on Facebook, follow us on X, read or look at our old Live and Founds, and look at our old blogs, and you'll get a lot of answers through those. Trust me.
All right. So what's up for next week?
We're going to talk more about 2026 and beyond. We're going to talk about how to future-proof your AI visibility for your business. So how to build those systems that AI loves to react to.
Awesome. All right. Thanks so much.
We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.